Okay, so we're at another ride. I don't know what the name of the ride is, but the lady was saying that there's King Kong and who knows what else on this ride. That's a tour, I guess. Oh, so that's what it is. You drop your phone, don't jump out. You know that first thing we gonna do? Yeah, you know that ain't gonna happen. You gonna jump up out that car.
And I promise I'll when those will be. Otherwise, those glasses, well, they're not going to do anything, okay? So just hold on to them. Now we have the world's greatest driver here with us today. His name is Oscar. Everyone say, hey, Oscar. Hey, Oscar. Oscar says, hey. He's going to be driving us through over 400 acres of movie-making magic, and we're very lucky to have him. I would drive, but I'm facing the opposite way. You probably wouldn't like that. So all good things, all good things. Now we are in our 107th year of the studio tour. We're very, very excited of Universal Studios, and we're very happy to be here. Our birthday was March 15th, so it's a good time for birthdays. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are already having their birthdays today. Maybe they're having a first date today. Maybe they're having an anniversary. On the count of three, I want everyone to say happy whatever. 1, 2, 3. Happy whatever! Aww. Wasn't that just so nice and personal? That right here in your right spot.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it now.
I'll over on your right. Like people refer to as like
that was
the valley.
Funny.
Like when you hear about like valley girls and stuff, like that's the valley they're talking about. But don't worry, everybody. I was born and raised in the valley, and I like totally don't talk like that. Yes, in fact, you can actually see the distance. Warner Brothers, they're our neighbors here. Those buildings right down below, those are our metropolitan sets. We'll be driving through those today. Also, make sure to have those cameras ready because you never know who or what you might see. We do have some prepping in our little Europe area for our Disney Plus show, so we're very excited for that. Now, we'll get going in just a few moments, but I think you'll... Uh-oh. Oh, you know what to do when this song comes on. Jackson. Yeah. Let's have a little dance off. Car 1, show me your moves. Oh, car 1 fell asleep. There's one. Okay, we got one. Car 2, can you beat him? Let me see your dance moves. Oh, I see some swaying. Car 3. Car 3, let me see. Yeah, there's those arms. Car 4, bring it home. Let's see what you got.
To the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Joy.
And the greatest driver.
Oscar.
They're the best. I love them. Even though...
Joy.
I know you guys are excited to go on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right. We do have some safety rules to go over. Wet. Alright, and I think that's all the paperwork we have to go over. We've officially left the theme park behind, y'all. And we are now making our way down the Universal movie timeline. On the right and left-hand sides of this tram, you'll see just a few of the thousands of films we've made at Universal Studios. Now, we don't just make movies, we also make TV shows, commercials, music videos, student films, you name it, we do it every single day. Because here at Universal Studios, we are a part of a Universal City, which is a real city that is dedicated to motion pictures. And because Universal City is real, we have our own zip code, we have our own DMV, we have everything that a regular city would need, including a fire station. And look, there it is on the right-hand side. As we turn the corner here, you're gonna see Fire Station 51. This is a real fire station. They are not a set. Fire Station 51 are the first responders here at Universal Studios, and we are very lucky to have them. Now, Fire Station 51 is named after a famous television fire station from the TV show Emergency, with an exclamation point. Emergency was a show back in the 1970s, produced by a man named Dick Wolf, who you also know as the executive producer of Law and Order. He's also the executive producer of the Chicago franchise, like Chicago Medical, Chicago PD, and Chicago Fire. And their fire station is also number 51. That's what they call an Easter egg, something filmmakers will hide in movies or TV shows for audience members like us to go on and find. Now, as we make our way down this hill, you will find on your left-hand side, Soundstage 12. Soundstage 12 is the largest soundstage on the Universal lot, and it's the oldest soundstage. It's getting a little bit of a facelift right now, but for many, many seasons, NBC's hit singing competition, The Voice, filmed inside of Soundstage 12. They're currently filming Soundstages 24 and 25, but Soundstage 12 premiered long before the Voice, dating all the way back to the monster movies.
I know it's all bumpy, guys, but I'm sorry, it's the bumpy ride, not me.
Now we're going to show you some more sound stages as we come down here. Over on your left-hand side, you're seeing Soundstage 20. That's where we filmed the TV show Bel Air, starring Jabari Banks and Adrian Holmes. You can see that on Peacock. Now the reason we call these sound stages is because once the doors on these buildings close, they become about 98% soundproof. Their walls are insulated with something called Insiquilt, which makes the walls about 4 times thicker than the average home. The reason they do that is because they don't want to hear our trams and trucks driving by when they're giving Oscar-worthy speeches on the inside. Now on the left is sound stages 16 and 17. These sound stages have been used a lot recently. One for one of my favorite shows, Hacks, which you can watch on HBO Max. It's an NBC Universal show. It's fantastic, and it stars the Emmy Award-winning Gene Smart. Very, very funny show. Now these two sound stages, along with Soundstage 21, which is across the street, these 3 sound stages have also been used for shows like Superstore, starring America Ferrera and Ben Feldman on NBC. Also been used for the reboot of Saved by the Bell with Mario Lopez and Elizabeth Berkley. Now again, across the street, Soundstage 21, very famous soundstage. It's been used for movies like Jurassic Park. You know the scene where the brontosaurus sneezes on the kids? It was filmed right inside there. It was also Mission Control Center for Apollo 13, directed by Ron Howard. And it was Mindy Lahiri's office for the great show, The Mindy Project, starring Mindy Kaling. I love The Mindy Project. Mindy Kaling is amazing. She wrote, starred, directed, produced, and did basically everything else on that show. You may also remember her as Kelly Kapoor from the American version of The Office. She's not the only famous Kelly we have on our lot. In fact, Kelly Clarkson films the Kelly Clarkson Show over in Soundstage 1 right around the corner. So again, a lot of amazing TV is being done right in the front lot. And the front lot, this is where we do a lot of the pre- and post-production. Pre-production means everything that happens before filming, like the writing of the script and the building of the sets. And post-production is everything that happens after filming, like the editing or the sound mixing. Production is the actual filming portion, and that takes the least amount of time. Over on your right-hand side, we got some more sound stages, specifically Soundstage 42. That's where we filmed the TV show Mr. Mayor, starring Ted Danson. Oh, I love Ted Danson. I like to call him the silver fox of the silver screen. He's filmed a lot here at Universal Studios. In fact, he filmed for my all-time favorite show, The Good Place, right over here at Soundstage 44. He played Michael. If you haven't seen The Good Place, make sure you do. It's fantastic. It stars Ted Danson, Kristen Bell, William Jackson Harper, Manny Jacinto, Jamila Jamil, and Darcy Carden. It's a fantastic comedy. Now, Ted Danson is not the only famous Ted we have on our lot. We also have Ted the Teddy Bear, who's on the left-hand side giving a nice little cheers to the Universal Tour. Kids, that's just lemonade. All right. Now, Ted is currently standing in front of our production bungalows. These bungalows used to be dressing rooms for some of Hollywood's hottest stars, including Rock Hudson, Doris Day, Jimmy Stewart, and everybody's favorite redhead, Lucille Ball. Back in those days, actors were known as contract players, which meant that they would only film Universal pictures while they were under contract. Since they would film a lot, these bungalows were like their home away from home. Each one had a bedroom, a bathroom, and a kitchenette. But since then, they have been repurposed into offices for the top writers, directors, and producers today. Now, a lot of famous actors do use these as their offices. Back where Ted was standing, that's where Seth MacFarlane has his office. And one of my favorite directors is Elizabeth Banks. You know her as the director of Pitch Perfect, and she's an actor as well. She's Effie Trickett in the Hunger Games franchise. And her production company, Brownstone, is here in these bungalows as well. Now, our most famous bungalow is going to be coming up on the left-hand side. It's number 5195. Keep a lookout for the silhouette right next to the number. That silhouette shows that it used to belong to none other than Hitchcock, the director of such films as Psycho, Rear Window, Vertigo, and The Birds. As you can see on your screens, Hitchcock made a cameo in almost all of his 30s and ends, because back in the old days, he didn't have enough money to pay all the extras that he needed, so he put himself into the movie to fill out the space. And on the left-hand side, you're going to see our newest soundages 22 and 23. These are 100% soundproof, and there's editing bays right inside, so film gets turned around a lot faster than it ever has before. Inside of these sound stages is where we filmed the TV show Keenan, starring Keenan Thompson and Chris Redd, two fantastic Saturday Night Live cast members. They fly out to LA to film this show. But now, everybody, we have left the front lot behind, and now we've entered the back lot. This is where we shoot the big stuff, people. Speaking of big stuff, on the right-hand side, this big mural, has buildings from Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York digitally put together to make a generic cityscape. And that's appropriate because we are now entering the metropolitan sets. These are the buildings that we saw from up on the hill. And the metropolitan sets, these may look real, but guess what? They're not. They're made out of plastic, plaster, and plywood. Why? Because they're much more pliable. Those are the 4 plus of set design. In case you ever need to tear one of these buildings down or build one right back up, you can do it very easily and cost effectively with those materials. In fact, this area is known as Brownstone Street. See those stairs? Those stairs might look familiar from a scene in Bruce Almighty.
Grace, the dog!
I'm in the shower!
Oh, right there, look. That's that right there. That is right there. The movie. The movie. Yeah, right there.
B-E-A-U.
It is indeed, Bruce. It is indeed. And now, everyone, welcome to my favorite area of the lot. You might call it Courthouse Square, because that's what we call it here, but you might know it better as Hill Valley from Back to the Future. On the left-hand side, you will see the clock tower that got struck by, I think, 1.21 gigawatts of power into the flux capacitor. Now, I know it looks a little different than it did in the movie. That's because there is a facade in front of it. Now, a facade is a French word which means false front, where we build only the fronts and the sides of buildings, and your imagination fills in the rest. The reason we put a facade in front of the original clock tower is because filmmakers realized it was too recognizable to be used in future productions. Therefore, there's its generic City Hall facade here, and you've seen this area even more recently on the TV show Rutherford Falls. That's where we are currently. As you can see that these buildings have been done up a little bit. Rutherford Falls is a very funny show. You can watch it on Peacock. It stars Ed Helms. You may remember him as Andy Dwyer from The Office, as well as Janice Schmieding, who is an incredible comedian. But this area has been here long before either Back to the Future or Rutherford Falls. This is where the very first episode of The Twilight Zone ever filmed. The episode where there's a soldier and he wakes up and no one's around. It was also covered in snow for the opening scene of Gremlins. But I think we're gonna wave goodbye to the small town of Hill Valley. Bye-bye. And I'm gonna take you to a much bigger apple. That's New York Street. Someone who knows a lot about New York lives there still. His name is Jimmy Fallon.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. What's got mugged over there? An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Yeah, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Now, New York Street is very, very popular. In fact, if you're a fan of American Ninja Warrior, then you're a fan of this street. This is where they set up the obstacle course for the LA Finals. Make sure to check that show out Monday nights on NBC. Now, this area is very popular. My favorite genre of movie, I know I'm a dork, but I love it, superhero movies. Oh, I love the superheroes. Captain America, the first Avenger, filmed right here with the very handsome Chris Evans. You know, in the scene where Steve Rogers, he turns into the world's first super soldier, and he's running down the street chasing the taxi barefoot. That's this street. Also, 2 different Spider-Men have been here. Andrew Garfield in The Amazing Spider-Man, and Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2. In fact, on the left-hand side, you're going to see a little theater that has a marquee there. In Spider-Man 2, there's a scene where Peter Parker is late to go see MJ's show, The Importance of Being Earnest. So because he's late, they don't let him into the theater. So he waits all night in the streets of New York, and at the end of the show, hundreds of extras leave that building. Except it wasn't hundreds of extras. It was maybe about 30. What they would do is they would leave the building, run behind these sets, put on a hat or a scarf, come through again, make it look a lot like there were way more people than there actually were. We like to switch these streets up all the time. So that's why we call it movie magic. We're doing illusions. In fact, take a look at the windows. The higher they go up, the smaller they get. We do that on purpose. That's called forced perspective. You know when you see something very far away, it gets smaller, right? Well, we have to force that perspective on you by making the windows smaller the higher they go up. Then we'll pan upwards on these buildings and we'll stop right before you get to the roof. Then because the windows are smaller, it gives the illusion that they go on and on and on. When in fact, no building here is more than about 50 feet tall. You know. You also might notice that every building here has a different kind of look. That's not really how it is in New York. Usually you see a lot of the same type of building on a street. We make these ones look different for a very important reason. Say I'm in a movie and I'm coming down these stairs right over here and I go, oh my goodness, I gotta get to work, it's all the way across town, I'll never make it. Suddenly a taxi cab pulls up, I pop in, the taxi cab drives away and the director calls cut. Then all the director and the camera crew need to do are turn themselves around, call action, the taxi pulls up on this side of the street. I get out, I go, oh my goodness, I made it. There was so much traffic, I can't even believe it. Right over here, yeah. We make these streets look a lot more expanded than they really are. In fact, New York doesn't even have to be New York. This street has been Los Angeles, like it was in the film Changeling, starring Angelina Jolie. It's also been Chicago, like it was in the Blues Brothers. It's even been Paris, France, for Billie Eilish when she was doing her Amazon Prime music video production. So again, this can be very, very specified. And the way we do that is by bringing in different set pieces. Set design is probably one of the most important parts of production because you need to make the world come to life, especially for the actors or the performers. Now, one of the ways we do that, see on the sidewalks how there are these square panels? Those square panels lift up and those are light sockets. Now I mentioned the movie Changeling. That was 1920s Los Angeles. If we are in the 20s, well, a fixture or a lamppost from the 1920s is going to look a lot different than the 2020s. So we have a prop department that holds over 2 million props inside. It's not even all the prop property, but we can take those lamps and literally plug them into the street and then unplug them for the next production. We switch it up all the time. It's very, very versatile. But now, folks, let's wave goodbye to New York. Bye-bye. New York, as Jay-Z once said, is the concrete jungle where dreams are made of. But I want to take you to a real jungle now. One that Academy Award-winning director Peter Jackson knows a lot about.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to get done with filmmaking. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your
glasses. Put my glasses on now.
You just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
That's right, folks. We are returning to Skull Island, and let me tell you, it's going to be a bumpy ride. So please remain seated and hold on to all loose items. Of course, it's a very dark cave we're in, but we have to ask, please turn off the flash from your devices. Flash photography is not allowed in this next experience. And let's find out a little bit more about Skull Island.
Really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of Kong.
Got my
He's so
3D
much
glasses.
more than a monster.
Ready?
Not only he is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature, he's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart.
The island. Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years. We were so sure.
Alright, everybody, just one more reminder to please remain seated and hold on to all loose articles. And if you haven't yet, please turn off the flash on your phones or devices.
Okay, glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
Our glasses are on. Let's go do this. Whoa, no way. Dudes, no way. Whoa. Whoa. They got our train. Now they got our train. They're falling. Oh. That was sick. That right there was sick. Oh my God. Yeah. That was cool. Oh, I look good with my glasses on. Check it out. Mira, mira, mira. Right here. Yes, yeah. That was a good stuff right there. First,
All right,
mira,
everybody,
mira.
feel free to take those 3D
How do I
glasses
look?
off and just hold on to them, all right? The second most intense 3D experience in the world.
That was cool.
Just a while, we're going to show you the first. Now, what you just saw was the result of 6 different IMAX movie screens. The brilliant minds over at Weta Digital created that production. They won many Academy Awards, including for King Kong, also for the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies, Avatar, and my personal favorite, Avengers Infinity War. Those screens are about 40 feet tall and 180 feet wide, completely encapsulating you, helping King Kong save us. Those terrifying T-Rexes.
With a project like Studio Tour, the audience is in the middle of the.
That was awesome. It really was.
They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
We always know when people are looking straight ahead of the shot that we're working on.
Here help that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We really created about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
Speaking of rides, you probably noticed that one of our tram cars got pulled on screen by that big T-Rex. Remember that? Well, when that happened, that turned this tram into what's known as a picture car. And a picture car is any vehicle you see on screen, maybe plane, train, or automobile. In fact, the Universal Tram is a huge picture car star. I'm going to show you some tram cameos, or as I like to call them, trameos. Take a look.
What was wrong with the monkey? She didn't want to go again.
Now we're going to show you some more famous picture cars. These ones are almost as famous as the people who have driven them. Please remain seated, but get those cameras ready. Now first up, you're going to see Kit from the recent revival of Knight Rider, parked right next to the Magnum PI Ferrari. Not a real Ferrari though, just a Volkswagen engine with a Ferrari fiberglass shell on it, because a Ferrari's engine is way too loud for filming. We also got Biff's car from Back to the Future, the one that got covered in manure, and Biff hates manure. We also have the Back to the Future 2 flying cars, parked right next to the Flintstones foot-powered vehicles. There are actually holes in the bottom for the actors' feet to go, and the cars themselves are being pulled on ropes. We also got the Ford Anglia from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. And some vehicles from the Jurassic Park franchise. Specifically, look at the gyrosphere from Jurassic World. You notice how there's no glass on it like there was in the movie? Well, that's because there was never any glass on it. Glass is a reflective surface, so if we had the camera pointed at real glass, it would pick up the camera, as well as all the lights and the crew and the reflection. Therefore, we digitally added in the glass afterwards using CGI, which stands for computer-generated imagery. Also, if those kids were in that glass bubble, it would get very hot. Not a ton of ventilation. We didn't want them to pass out. We needed them for the rest of the movie, so we said, let's just do it digitally. Yeah. In fact, I love Jurassic World so much. We actually have a ride that's been updated. It was the Jurassic Park ride, now the Jurassic World ride. But I love Jurassic Park so much, we're going to take you through the original set pieces from Jurassic Park and the Lost World Jurassic Park. So, welcome to Jurassic Park. Just me? Okay. Well, you're going to see a lot of pieces that look like they're made of metal here. They're actually made out of plywood. It makes them a lot more lightweight. They're just painted to look like metal. That goes for the mobile lab, which is covered in camouflage. This was in the Lost World Jurassic Park. Now, we're very excited because we have some of the original stars here from the film, and they wanted to say hello the only way they know how. Don't worry, everybody, don't worry. That wasn't water, it was Dilophosauri I was spitting at you. That was just acid. Just kidding, we saved that for the nighttime tours. Now, we love Jurassic Park here because one of the reasons I love it the most is because it's one of the first films to ever combine CGI and mechanical effects into one movie. CGI, again, computer effects, whereas mechanical effects are mechanics that are all on a robotic system. So we can reset those effects to go off over and over again. It's one of the ways that that giant T-Rex was so terrifying. They would have the mouth open and the puppet would just be like ready to eat all the kids. Very, very terrifying. They used a lot of different effects. In fact, we're doing one of those effects right now on your left-hand side. Do you see the effect we're doing? Yeah, you see it? Yeah. Really? No, you don't see it, do you? It's those trees. Those trees are not real. Those are made out of foam, rubber, and plastic. The reason is because Jurassic Park is based off of an island right off the coast of Costa Rica. But we're in the valley, y'all, so we need to make our own indigenous trees to the area. And we can roll them around if we can take them from set to set. But now we're leaving Costa Rica and we're entering the sets of Old Mexico. Old Mexico has been seen as Mexico, the Three Amigos, starring Chevy Chase, Luke Martin, and Martin Short. Also on the TV show Community, starring Joel McHale and Gillian Jacobs. And this area is very cool because this is where we can show you how we do weather effects. It's a nice sunny day, but this whole area is linked up to my keypad, so I just turned on the thunder and the lightning. Don't be alarmed.
Welcome to Mexico.
It's just a sound effect, and it's coming from speakers above you, and the light that you can see flashing against those buildings, that's a strobe light going off. Now, if we wanted to make that happen, I would need to add some rain. Now, that rain is coming from a sprinkler system right above us. It shoots water up into the air, and it falls down naturally like real rain. The combination of the lighting and sun rain make it look pretty realistic, doesn't it? Yeah. Now what's really cool is if I hit this button right here, I can turn these all off. Get ready. And off. Oh, okay, that was weird. I said and off. Off. Oh, okay, we're having some technical difficulties. You just hear it rumbling? Oh my goodness, it's a flash flood! Everybody take cover! Alright, we were just playing a little joke on you. the next tram. You saw that very effect in the movie Big Fat Liars starring Paul Giamatti, Frankie Muniz, and Amanda Bynes.
Oh, look at that. That's where they're hiding now. Over there.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Don't worry, everybody. Paul Giamatti was fine. Okay, that was his stunt double. But you know who didn't have a stunt double in that flash flood was Lady Gaga. She stood there in 6-inch high-heeled pumps for her music video Judas. They offered her a stand-in, but she was like, "No, I got this." You know, she's a monster. She knows what she's doing. But now, everybody, we have rolled out of old Mexico and into the old West. Welcome to 6 Points, Texas, y'all. Yeehaw! Now, 6 Points actually got its name because back in the early days of filmmaking, there used to be 6 different streets that all coincided with this one right here. Each street had its own bank, saloon, and jail, and we could shoot 6 different westerns at the same time. The same time? That's right. Because these were the days of the silent film era where films were not affected by sound. In fact, the creator of Universal Studios, his name is Carl Laemmle, he would charge people only 25 cents to come and watch a western be filmed. They could cheer for the good guys and boo for the bad guys, and they would get a boxed lunch out of the deal. It's not bad for 25 cents. Now, this area has been seen recently in the film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie, directed by Quentin Tarantino. Now, take a look at the windows here. You notice that there's a lot of curtains in them? We're doing that on purpose because we are hiding the fact that there's nothing behind them. These are facades. A lot of these are facades, just the fronts and sides of buildings, just like the courthouse. Now, also, these bricks that you're seeing here, they're not brick. They're made rubber, so in case you're ever having a barroom brawl and a cowboy gets thrown against a building, he's getting thrown squishy. Now, also, these doors here aren't the same size. Some are smaller. That's because in the old days they put the ladies in front of there to make them look a little bit smaller, like they're damsels in distress. That's for the bigger doors, and for the smaller doors, they put the cowboys in front of them to make them look taller than they actually are. Now, as we mosey on out of 6 Points, look over on your left-hand side, and you will see a large body of water. This is known as Park Lake, or as I like to refer to it as, the Black Lagoon, from where the creature from the Black Lagoon still lives to this day. I could be more dramatic if you'd like. Yes, the creature from the Black Lagoon is one of our many universal monsters. The creature was actually played by an Olympic diver, because back in the old days, when they made the costume, to this day, is still one of the most impressive makeups you've ever seen, but it doesn't have a lot of room for an air tank, so they actually needed an actor who could hold their breath for minutes at a time. Now, I mentioned the Universal Monsters. That is the official title of the monster movies because the monsters got their start right over here. In fact, over on your left-hand side is Little Europe. When we turn in the corner, you'll be able to see these buildings a little clearer in just a moment. Little Europe could be any European city or country you need it to be. Just change the signs and languages on the doors and windows. And Count Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, and his bride, and the Wolfman all got their start right over there. Now, everybody, we have a special treat. We're going to go inside an actual soundstage. This is Soundstage 50. It is the only soundstage that you can drive through, and they're letting us come in today, even though tomorrow they're going to be filming in here for a big-budget comedy. So we're very excited to take you inside. We do have to ask, please do not touch anything while you're inside. In fact, you can stay in your seats, just hold on to your stuff, because we don't want to mess anything up for filming. This is a hot set. Again, it's dressed. It's always looking like a subway station, but just like Little Europe, it can be any subway station in the world. You just change the signs. In fact, I believe currently it's San Francisco, but it's been Washington, D.C., like it was on the TV show Bones. It's also been New York. It could be Tokyo. It's really versatile. And I think we're going to head on inside. Now, this is also cool. This is a double-decker soundstage, which means there's 2 levels to it. We're only going to see the bottom level because that's the only part you can drive through. But the top of it is meant to look like a street, and then below it is the subway. So it's pretty cool. And again, please do not touch anything and just stay seated, okay, everybody? Now, it's pretty cool in here. You're going to see a lot of the filming equipment kind of on the left-hand side. You're also going to see a lot of advertisements. That's called product placement. That's how we get the funding for our films. Now, guys, how about we have some fun? You know, this is for a comedy for tomorrow. How about we all pretend that we're in a comedy? I'll be your director. When I say action, I want everybody to burst into laughter, okay? No. This isn't a good movie. It's a disaster movie. ourselves to go back to one. New song was next to the TV show Bungalows, starring David Moranis and Emily Deschanel. Take a look.
Cool.
All right, everybody, we are officially halfway through the tour. Therefore, I must remind you all to please remain seated. If you need me for any reason, of course, if you drop something off the tram, have a sound or video issue with your TV screens, a medical emergency, or need to use the restroom, just remember to pull the red cord. This is where my boyfriend works. Yeah, my boyfriend. His name is George. He's a scuba diver, y'all, and it's his first day, so I wanted to surprise him at work. He's in the water right now, probably, so everybody say, hey, George. Hey, George. Okay, it's not as nasally as I was doing, but that's fine. Now, hey, do you hear that music? Wait, what's that in the water?
No, Jaws.
Is that a dolphin?
Jaws.
Oh my goodness, that's a shark. Everyone please stay seated. George, there you are, honey. Get out of the water, babe. George Sweetie, get out of the water, honey. George? George! Oh, George, no! Oh, George, no, my love. Oh, George, me more. Oh, George. Okay. Don't worry, everybody. I'll be fine, okay? There's plenty more fish in the sea. But you know what? We're gonna get out of here, okay? Yes, there's a live shark in the water. Why are we slowing down? Oscar, why are we stopping right here? I mean, it's just that we're behind these very flammable tanks of gas. I mean, if you think we should be here, that's fine. Alright, again, everyone please sit down. Sit down. Thank you. Yes, there's clearly things are getting very heated right now. So let's get out of here, everybody. Alright, we just survived a shark attack! Yay! Okay, quick trivia question for everybody on board. Who here knows what kind of shark it was in the film Jaws? Just shout it out. Great white shark? Wrong, it was a mechanical shark, but so close. If you said great white, you were this close, y'all. Now, the shark over there worked a lot better than the one in the movie. The original shark was tested to be used in fresh water. However, on the very first day of filming, it actually sunk to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. They didn't realize that salt water was going to erode those mechanics. There were so many issues with the mechanical shark, they nicknamed the entire production Flaws.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
The shark worked well enough. For a while there, and it was remote. So I really owe the shark a lot.
The shark's name is not actually Jaws. His name is Bruce. He was nicknamed after Steven Spielberg's lawyer. And if you're a fan of Pixar's Finding Nemo, you know that vegetarian shark in that movie? He's also named Bruce. They're paying a tribute to Steven Spielberg and his incredible film. Now, this movie was the very first summer blockbuster there ever was. The movie was slated to be released Christmas in 1974, but because of the issues with the shark, production was pushed back 100 days, releasing it the summer of 1975. Which I have to say also makes a lot more sense since the movie's based around July 4th weekend, so yeah. But as we drive on forward here, on the right-hand side, this beautiful house is known as the Chicken Ranch, originally built for the film The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton. Now, this house is a practical set, different than the facades that I showed you. This house you can film on the outside as well as on the inside, so it's very practical for filming. And across the street, you're going to see some more houses as we drive up this hill. This is the tail end of our Colonial Street, or as you may know it better as Wisteria Lane from ABC's Desperate Housewives. You can see Colonial Street on the TV show Never Have I Ever. You can see that on Netflix. It's a hilarious rom-com. Very good, created by Mindy Kaling, so make sure to check that out. But of course, Colonial Street is very popular. You've seen it in a lot of other productions like the ones on your screen. those cameras ready because we're going to show you the newest installation to the studio tour. We showed you just a taste of our picture cars earlier, but if you're a fan of the Fast and Furious, you'll especially love the cars we have here. A lot of different picture cars here, but if you're a fan, you can see Dominic Toretto's Dodge Charger coming up on the right-hand side.
I'm videoing.
Dominic Toretto, of course, played by Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Now, the Fast and the Furious is the successful franchise in Universal Studios history, which is why we keep rolling out the hits. They're going to keep making those movies because we want to see as many ways as a car can fly through the air. I'm here for it.
Yes.
Now, I know we have a lot of out-of-town guests on the tour today. If you're looking for a place to stay, don't pay those hotel prices, okay? Come on down to the Bates Motel or Hitchcock Psycho. There are 12 rooms and 12 cabins, 12 vacant. And oh look, there's Norman Bates in the window. Oh, hey Norman. Oh, Norman Bates, he's cute, right? I mean, ever since George died, I've been kind of on the dating scene, so, you know. But, you know what? This movie was really, really iconic for many reasons. One of the reasons I love is because of the effects that they used. You know, all the blood that they used in the famous shower scene was actually chocolate syrup. The reason is the film was done in black and white. And in black and white, chocolate syrup looks and tastes the same as blood. It just looks the same. Looks the same. Also, all the stabbing you heard was not the stabbing of a body, but the stabbing of a watermelon over and over and over again. And as we pass by the Psycho house, take a look at the second floor window. You'll believe me, she is dying to meet you. Oh, she got it. But you know what? We're going to leave that psychopath behind and enter a different path to Steven Spielberg's crash site from War of the Worlds. On your left-hand side, you are seeing a real 747 Boeing airplane, which was both bought and destroyed for the film. It was only purchased for about $60,000, which is quite a steal for an entire airplane, but shipping and handling was always where they could get you. About $200,000 for just to ship it here, and it was only seen on screen for less than 3 minutes.
The airplane's crash site is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep guys away. Listen, this is your pleasure, guys, okay? You want a bike card? Yes, you want a bike card?
Bobby, get in. Get in.
Now, this area was not only seen on the War of the Worlds, but also on America's Next Top Model. All models dressed up as zombies. They had a whole photo shoot right there on the graphics. It was also seen on an episode of Community where the study group was by the houses, and the dean comes out and he goes, "Hey, this habitat was for humanity." They didn't do a very good job on that project. But now, everybody, we are about 10 minutes from the end of the tour, so just one more reminder to please remain seated, and if you need me, pull the red cord, okay? And as we turn this corner here, you're going to see a very boring green fence. Look right beyond it, and you're going to see a bright blue wall in the distance, all right? That is the world's largest freestanding blue screen. You guys have heard of a green screen before, right? Well, a blue screen does the exact same thing. You put your actor in front of it, film what you gotta film, and then afterwards, in post-production, the editing phase, we digitally remove the blue and put in any background we want. Right below that blue screen is a large pit we call Falls Lake. We can fill Falls Lake up with water, and then we can make it look as if our actors are on the 7 seas. In fact, Beyonce, the Queen Bee herself, filmed right over there for Formation. It was, she was floating on what was meant to look like New Orleans. And in fact, this area has been seen for a lot of different movies. Back in the old days, they had the backgrounds by hand. That was before the days of computer-generated imagery. In fact, I'm going to show you what it looked like back in the old days. What a sweet little bovine. Now, a lot of people ask me, is it a blue screen or a green screen? Well, the reason is simple. Blue and green are the two colors that are not found in. Therefore, we make sure our actors are not wearing any blue if they're in front of a blue screen, and not wearing any green if they're in front of a green screen, so they don't disappear. If their eyes are powerful enough, they will put in contacts, so they don't, if they have green eyes or blue eyes, they'll put in contacts so they won't appear, or they won't lose their eyes on screen. Now everybody, we got a special treat for you. Earlier, I had you be in a disaster movie. Now I want you to be the stars of an action movie. We're gonna go inside of Sullivan's Truck Repair. Now I see a lot of people going for their glasses. You don't need to wear those just yet. I'll let you know when you will. Inside here, we're gonna see Sullivan's Truck Repair. They repair, minivans, limousines, monster trucks. Oh, that one looks like a real monster. Those two all actually. We're gonna get to meet some famous drivers. Are they here yet? Hello? Hello?
Friends over, it's a little messy, but it's all good. The more the merrier. Especially you right there in that third row. You know what I'm saying? So look, see over there? It's Hobbs' urban assault vehicle. Best truck the U.S. government can buy. That work bar back over there is made by my man Tej. Think of it as like a Mona Lisa on wheels.
So did you break it down to them?
What's that?
Keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here. So put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next van immediately.
So I never seen the third row, right? Is any comments?
Alright, everyone, so like Lenny and Roman just said, please put away all cameras and phones, flash photography is not allowed in this next experience. However, I just got word that I got us an invite to the hottest party in Hollywood. And it's right in the next room. Who wants to go to a party? Me.
I gotta turn it off, guys.
That was pretty cool. I said, who wants to go party?
Pierce, FBI, don't move. Neil, that's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not...
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. I got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours.
Hobbs, escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back. It was on vibrate.
Shaw traced us. Hobbs can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
flash photography and enjoy the ride.
Here we go, guys.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn. Okay, guys, it's showtime.
I got the move by the horn! I've got company! This is mine, Lenny!
How about you eat asphalt?
Don't think you're getting away!
Where to go, buddy?
Drone's lining up the missile shot!
Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got this.
Women don't shoot at from the bridge! Under construction! Everybody hold on!
Hit the matrix. Oh, God.
That was freaking awesome. That was awesome. Oh, bro, that was sick. That was sick. Got my super cool glasses on again. How do I look? How do I look? Oh no, my brightness. Trying to find my brightness.
We roll like this. That's how we roll. Oh, they stopped. All right, well, everybody, that basically brings us to the end of the tour. Everybody say, "Aww."
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Before we get going, however, I want you to burst into
I couldn't find my
loud,
brightness.
glorious applause for your incredible driver, Oscar. Give it up for Oscar, everybody.
Oscar.
Without this guy, you would have been walking this tour, folks. All right. Now I want to make sure you have the best day possible here at Universal Studios. So make sure to go check out Waterworld, a live SeaWorld spectacular. It's an amazing stunt show with the best stunt actors in Hollywood. And if you haven't yet, go make sure to check out the new Secret Life of Pets ride at the front of the park. It's a lot of fun. And to purchase any of the NBC Universal movies or TV shows you saw on today's tour, just visit uphe.com or ask one of our retailers. And make sure to do all of that before 7 p.m. because that is when the park closes. And everybody, my name is Joy. I have been your tour guide. I hope you had a joyful time on the Joyful Tour. And I hope you have an amazing day here at Universal Studios Hollywood, the entertainment capital of LA. As they say in the business, that's a wrap, people. That's a wrap. Bye-bye.
And that was that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, follow, give me those likes, drop them comments. Peace.
Have a fantastic day.